Good afternoon. As Jonathan just said there, my name is Clare Lee and I work with South Tipperary County Council. I also work for Cashel Town Council and I'll be speaking on behalf of Cashel Town Council specifically today. So the title of my talk is Planning and Tourism in Cashel. So first off, what defines Cashel? What does Cashel mean to us? Is it a place where the rock is? There's a picture there of the Rock of Cashel with Quay, who visited last year. It shows how significant the Rock of Cashel is, that it was a choice of the Queen's visit. Or is it Cashel, is it a town with much heritage to offer and much other things to offer? A quick search of the Rock of Cashel on Google will give you these kind of images. You can see that the rock there is very prominent in the landscape. It's very iconic, we all recognise it. But the strange thing about these photographs is there's no town. You can't see the town of Cashel there at all. It's like the Rock of Cashel is in the open countryside and it's completely rural, which it's not. Just some of the selling points of Cashel. Firstly, it's located centrally in the south of Ireland. It's very accessible. It's on the M8 motorway. It has a growing population. There's a population of over 3,000 people in it. It has the Rock of Cashel, which is of iconic importance, and it's recognisable throughout the world. And it has a strong community and business network. So it has many strong selling points. Tourism facts regarding Cashel. These tourism facts are very much related to the Rock of Cashel. They revolve around the rock. It attracts up to 250,000 visitors per annum. It's ranked in 13th place by Fáilte Ireland as a visitor attraction in Ireland. It's a royal site of Ireland and it's on the tentative list for UNESCO World Heritage Site status. It's very important from a heritage point of view in Ireland. And it has recently gained international coverage during the Queen's visit in 2011. In addition to the rock, Cashel has much to offer from a heritage point of view. Just to show just some brief snapshots of the heritage of the town, it has a very beautiful town centre. It's benefited recently from the closure of from the M8 bypass, the opening of it, so it hasn't got the traffic levels it used to have on the Dublin to Cork road. And there's been a town centre improvement scheme carried out, so it's a nice place to be. It has the Bolton Library, scenic walks, the city walls, and other heritage features such as Hoare Abbey, St Dominic's Abbey, etc. So lots of heritage in Cashel. However, despite these heritage offers, Cashel has a low economic gain as a result of the tourism to the rock. As a result of all those visitors every year, I suppose we have to look at why. Why is that? I suppose one of the key things is that there's a trend of short-term visitors to the rock. People come to the rock, they park at the rock, they do a tour on the rock, and then they leave. They often don't go into Cashel town and they don't look at the other heritage features in the town. There's very much a trend towards bus tours visiting the Rock of Cashel. They're on a fixed schedule. The rock is just a stop. People come for an hour and see the rock and get back on the bus and continue on to Cork, maybe from Dublin. And another, I suppose, issue is there's poor connectivity between the town centre and the heritage sites in the town, and specifically between the rock itself and the town centre. There's no direct route, there's no area that tourists can meander around and enjoy the town and the setting of the rock. You're very much at the rock and then you're leaving. So the review of the Cashel Town and Environs Development Plan commenced in 2007 and was completed in 2009. And this represented an opportunity for change, an opportunity for a chance to look at Cashel and its development and how change might be brought about. Public consultation was carried out and some of the findings were the rock is physically detached from the town. The rock, rather than Cashel as a whole, is considered to be the key tourist attraction. There's a need to protect the heritage of the town, especially in view of the proposed World Heritage Site proposal for Cashel. And how can the planning process address these issues? So these were the issues that came about. During the consultation process, it was mentioned a few times by members of the public and community that can Cashel be more like Edinburgh? Edinburgh is a World Heritage Site. It has a very important castle which is situated on a high rocky outcrop in the centre of Edinburgh. It's a beautiful place to visit, and you can see the beautiful open spaces around it which are freely open to the public and in a park. It's set out like a parkland. A similar view of the rock from the centre of Cashel town You can see it's got a beautiful setting as well, but again the town is missing, and this land is generally, it's private. You can't get in around here, it's not open to the public, so it doesn't have the use and potential that Edinburgh has. Even though that's there, it's something that we can aspire to. Just here is just a snapshot from the development plan itself. It's just a strategy vision map for Cashel. And the key strategic vision points for the town plan were that the links between the town centre and the rock should be strengthened. And the focus should be on the core, on the town itself, in the town plan. There was a fear there that the town is being left behind almost by development to the south of the town towards the bypass and away from the rock and away from the heritage and potential. The need to identify the historic triangle of the town centre, which evolves around Hoare Abbey, the Rock of Cashel itself, and St John's Cathedral. The need to protect the heritage assets of the town. And a master plan potential was identified for the St Patrick's Rock area, which is lands to the south of the Rock of Cashel, and I'll talk about them in a minute. Okay, the other important feature in preparing the development plan was recognition of the potential for World Heritage Site status for Cashel. In view of this, a strategic environmental assessment was carried out with the focus on the architectural and archaeological heritage of Cashel. A visibility analysis was carried out. This was prepared by architectural consultants, and it sets out zones of visual sensitivity with the view to protecting the key heritage assets of the town. Policies to protect the setting of the rock and the character of the town are integral to the plan and the potential for Cashel to be a World Heritage Site. So in effect, the plan is the first step towards a conservation plan that would be necessary for World Heritage Site status. The St Patrick's Rock Master Plan area was identified in the development plan. It's outlined in blue. This is a strategic area located between the rock, which is to the north there, and the town centre to the south. This area is largely private. It's not fully accessible. Some parts of it are. It's got excellent heritage features surrounding it, and it's highly visually scenic and a beautiful place to be in. Just another few key features of it. As I said, it's predominantly private. Some lands are in the ownership of the local authority and the OPW. There's a large car park area and a large courthouse site as well. There's poor accessibility through the area from the rock. Even though it's directly located between the rock and town centre, it's not freely available to the public. It's a large area, over 6 hectares. Another key element of this is the city walls. They're identified there. They run through the very centre of the site, and there's large sections of them upstanding. And they're another key asset to the heritage of the town. So to date, there has been some achievement on the St Patrick's Rock Master Plan. It's a vision of the plan to prepare a master plan for this area, and there has been formal consultation with stakeholders. There has been agreement with the OPW and the local authority to provide greater accessibility, especially to the city walls in the master plan area. The master plan has generated interest among community and business groups and increased interaction and involvement by them. It's featured in a scoping report which is currently being prepared by Tourism Development International and funded by Cashel Town Council. And the restoration programme for the city walls is located in the master plan area. Key to that was reopening of a sallyport which used to exist in the city walls. And I'll show you a picture of that shortly. So just some brief images from Cashel, especially of I suppose successes over the last couple of years really in the master plan area. So firstly there, the restoration of the Cashel city walls. We can see there the walls are identified. The sallyport is identified there in the map, and you can see how strategic they are to the master plan area. Just an image of the city walls. This is looking towards the city walls from outside the walls. The Rock of Cashel would be to your back here looking at this photograph. They're quite impressive remains, they're quite substantial. This is the sallyport, and there's an upstanding military structure still attached to the walls as well. So the sallyport leads you through into the city, the walled, old town walled area, and towards the town centre. And there it is from the town centre, town centre itself. This sallyport is very strategic in that it provides access through the walls from the rock to the town centre. It was blocked up completely up to 3 years ago, and there was no knowledge that it even existed. And it's a key feature towards enhanced interaction and accessibility for pedestrians. Cashel Town Walls Day, this is just an image from last year. This is within the master plan area. You can see the community is getting interested and involved. This area has got lots of potential for tourism and for the community. And that's just an image. Just an image from the Queen's visit in 2011. She visited the Rock. She didn't visit the town, which I suppose is, indicative of what were the challenges we face. But she generated immense focus on Cashel internationally. So I think tourist numbers are up last year and hopefully this year as a result of that. The Cashel Adopt a Monument programme is ongoing, and it has generated increased involvement with community, to the city walls, to the heritage features in general, and to the potential of the St Patrick's Rock master plan area. And challenges. Now there is challenges in achieving the vision of the development plan, in achieving the protection of the heritage of the area in consideration of the World Heritage Site potential of the area, and especially in generating increased public accessibility around the master plan area, around the Rock, around the town centre, and around all the heritage features of Cashel. So the first one would be private land ownership. A lot of the land in the master plan areas is in private ownership, so it will mean how are we going to gain greater access, how are we going to liaise with landowners and get agreement, and this is in a time where funding is, I suppose, is non-existent really. Funding and investment, another, I suppose in the current climate, is something that is a challenge. Cashel needs maybe greater accommodation, hotels. They're not something that maybe is going to happen too quickly. Community support and involvement. The town council can't achieve the vision on its own set out in the plan. It needs the involvement and the investment of the business people, the heritage people, the communities and the general public, their interest and their support. Very important to everything we're talking about here is the protection of the heritage assets in Cashel, especially the archaeology, the setting of the town, of the Rock, and the character of the area. And the development plan has very much recognised that. And then the big challenge is the development of Cashel. This is a vision, I suppose, that the council has as the hub for tourism in Tipperary as a whole, especially in view of the proposed amalgamation of North and South Tipperary. And going forward then, there is some key projects or strategies or achievements to be achieved, I suppose, in 2012. First off, continue the restoration programme of the city walls in the master plan area. Continue to consult with stakeholders, with the landowners, with the OPW, with everyone involved in the area, and to offer support and guidance to landowners, to get them to come on board, to interact, and to hopefully, I suppose, gain greater accessibility in the area. Support for tourism and community initiatives. This is something the Town Council is very aware of and certainly does its best. To build on the publicity generated by the Queen's visit. To open access to the OPW site within the master plan area. Agreement has been secured now regarding that, and hopefully works will be able to go ahead shortly to expose the city walls more than they already are within the city walls area, to allow the public to go in and access them. Continue to support the bid for World Heritage Site status, that will be ongoing. And seek funding to prepare Destination Cashel. This is a plan to develop a sustainable tourism development plan for Tipperary. It envisages that Cashel will be the hub for tourism within the county, and that other outlying towns and heritage features in the county, such as the wall towns of Feathered and Clonmel, would benefit from this. And it's hoped that after the scoping report is carried out, that it might lead to a greater plan of action. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.